While many students and fans are disappointed with the NCAA news, dozens of other UWGB students have other concerns on their minds, all surrounding the quality of life on campus. Here you see students enjoying the student union at UWGB, but some say life for the 1,100 students who live on campus in dorms and apartments is not so enjoyable. These students say serious allegations that involve racism and sexual harassment from the GB housing staff have been all but ignored.
We want things investigated. You know, we don't want things pushed under the carpet. We want things known.
I think that it's about time that we really show them that we mean business, because we've been saying for a long time that we like this and that state statute 36.095 guarantees us this right, and they haven't been listening to us. It's our rights, and we're getting tired of being pushed around.
Now, students said they do plan to take action in the near future to address those concerns, including asking UWGB Chancellor David Outcalt to investigate their concerns with a task force that includes students. Outcalt could not be reached for comment.
Students are calling for a university investigation, asking UWGB Chancellor David Outcalt to appoint a task force that includes students to investigate the problems. The Chancellor could not be reached for comment.
Of a group of UW Green Bay students who say they are being ignored. Kevin Romper reports this angry group has gone so far as to get the school's chancellor out of bed in the middle of the night.
Smiles and cooler heads this morning after these students met with UW Green Bay Chancellor David Outcalt. It's an appointment they pressured him into with a phone call early this morning to his home.
If you dog us on this, we're going to sit out in front of your office, whatever it takes. These students, are you guys mad?
Yeah!
What are they so mad about? They charge the university as dragging its feet on an investigation into sexual harassment and racial complaints. They claim students have no say in what happens.
I pay to go here, and you work for me.
They got their meeting today with Chancellor Outcalt, but no answers. School officials confirm they've just completed a lengthy probe into alleged sexual harassment by a housing staff person. Students want names of those involved, something school officials can't give because it involves personnel.
Well, you see, legally I cannot tell them.
Students are asking the chancellor to form a special student-led task force to get access to information and have more input into campus affairs.
It's about time that students get involved in the decision-making process and involved in this whole process.
But school officials say some information is off limits. That includes personnel matters where their hands are tied by privacy, no matter how many phone calls students make in the middle of the night. Kevin Romper, Action 2 News, Green Bay.
Chancellor Outcalt says he will let these students know by next week whether he will allow the formation of a special task force on campus.
It is not clear this evening on the UW Green Bay campus whether there is a serious problem of sexual harassment and racism. About 100 students who staged an overnight sit-in protest in the campus community center says there is, and the university better investigate. The university says the campus environment is positive. Renee Puckett has the latest.
This is the most important part. What you do in your room is your own business.
Students say they're at the end of their rope, and this sit-in vented years of frustrations.
People aren't happy with housing. They have reactions, they have comments, they have things, they have concerns, and they just get flushed down the toilet.
But the problems go deeper than just housing issues. Some students accuse the housing authority of racism and alleged sexual harassment. They want a task force to investigate and called their chancellor at midnight demanding it.
All we want is a fair shot at looking into these allegations. We will be as fair and impartial as any other task force. Students are certainly capable of that.
Today, the chancellor told us the university has investigated sexual harassment complaints in the past.
Environment here on the campus is really pretty good. Are there incidences? Of course there are. Should there be incidences? Of course there shouldn't be. And we continue to work to minimize them and take care of them as they come up.
The problem is, it was about the administration, so how can they possibly go about taking care of it without stepping on toes or whatever?
The university says past incidents have been resolved, but students aren't convinced and want to know more about those investigations. The chancellor will let students know next week whether the university is granting their demand for a task force. The students say the answer better be yes.
We want our concerns known, and we want people to realize we mean business, and we want this taken seriously.
Renee Puckett, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Green Bay.
The students also say they want a bigger say in setting campus housing rules and policies, many of which they say are unfair.
Our racial harassment has been very thoroughly followed up to the extent that we possibly could, given the fact that people tend not to want to have themselves identified in public, and we've resolved them. So there's nothing hanging out that I'm aware of.
School's chancellor. They say sexual harassment and racial discrimination charges are not being investigated.